Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. My name is Ms. Parker. I teach at North Euless Elementary. I teach first grade, and today I'm going to go ahead and teach you a little bit about cooking. Now I know you're all excited about eating some math at home, but before you can eat it, you have to know how cooking works and what the steps and all these different cooking words that I'm going to use, what those mean. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by showing you some of the tools that we're going to use. So over here I have a bunch of different things. You don't have to have all of these, but these are just some options of things you might choose to use. So I have some flour that I have, nothing fancy, it's just double bag in my bag here. I have some water that I can use as well, and then I have a bunch of different cooking tools, like a liquid measuring cup, a dry measuring cup, and some cooking spoons as well. Let's talk a little bit about what those tools are and how they're different than the cups and spoons you're used to using. Let me share a little bit of something with you. It's called abbreviations. When we cook, we don't always like to write out the whole word. So instead, we use an abbreviation. Here's a couple of abbreviations you might see in cooking. So we have TSP, which stands for teaspoon, TBSP, which stands for tablespoon, and a C, which stands for a cup. Let's start with a teaspoon and a tablespoon. So I have 2 spoons here. This is the one my husband likes to eat with. This is the one my children like to eat with, or maybe if I want to eat some ice cream really slow and enjoy the flavor, I might eat with this one as well. You'll notice they're 2 very different sizes. So if my recipe calls for a spoon of flour and I do this scoop versus this scoop, I'm going to have a very different amount of flour, and it's not going to turn out the way it's supposed to turn out. Instead, we have to make sure that we're using measuring tools and using the right measuring tools. So here we have a teaspoon and a tablespoon. One's bigger, one's smaller. Which one's which? Which one's a tablespoon? Which one's a teaspoon? The way that I like to remember that is with the way that we write the word. Teaspoon has a lowercase t for teaspoon. Tablespoon has a capital T for tablespoon. Tablespoon is also abbreviated with a longer way and is a longer word. It's bigger. If it's bigger, that means it's going to be our bigger spoon that we are using. Does that make this a tablespoon? Maybe for eating, but not for cooking. You need an actual tablespoon, and then we have a teaspoon here. So it's very important that we know the difference. Now, along with that, we also had C equals cup. So let's go ahead and get a cup that we can use. Cup of flour versus cup of flour. This is what my kids drink out of. This is what my husband likes to drink out of. When I compare the two, I see this one is so much bigger. This one's much smaller. Neither one of these are the right size for our cup for cooking. So I don't want to use these. Instead, I'm going to get a measuring cup out. It has a special size where it's measured, so whenever I cook, I always put the right amount of my ingredients into my recipes. You'll also see that there's many other different sizes of measuring cups. 1/4 a cup, 1/2 a cup, 1/8 a cup, lots of different sizes. 1/3 of a cup that you might be able to cook with. So you need to make sure that you have those types of tools to be able to help you. We won't be using all of them, and you won't need all of them in our recipes that we're going to do through this video series. Instead, we're going to focus in on just a couple. But today, you're going to want a lot of them so you can have more fun finding your conversions to match the conversions that are on the charts for the PDF. You can look and you can explore and see on that PDF where you can pull up the different conversions or changes that there can be made. Now let me tell you how you're going to explore and find these on your own. So first of all, you need to know, how do I measure liquids? So liquids mean things like water. So here we have a liquid measuring cup. These are called dry measuring cups. On a liquid measuring cup, you'll see that there is cups and ounces. There's also the metric system on the other side, but we're going to stick with this one. For the purposes of our cooking, we're only going to use cups. This goes up to 4 cups. Nothing we cook is going to go that high. It also has 1/2 cup and 1 cup. Sorry, my cup's a little bit older. You can't see it very well. And we're going to practice filling it up. So let me go ahead and do that now. I'm going to pour some water in there and try to get it to my 1 cup. Now I want you to see what happens when I'm looking at my cup and I accidentally angle it. It looks like I have 1.5 cups of water. Or maybe it looks like I only have a 1/2 cup of water. When I measure in a liquid measuring cup, it's important that I lay it flat on a table and I get eye level. That means I'm bending down to look at the level of the water, eye level. And then I can see if I have too much or if I have too little. This is 1 cup. Now to measure dry 1 cup, we're going to do that with flour. So I'm going to get a cup of flour. And when I scoop this cup out, the first thing you're going to notice, I imagine, is this is very, very full. And I don't want it to be this full. As a matter of fact, this is not a 1 cup right now. This is more than 1 cup. To fix that, I'm going to do something called leveling. I can use a butter knife to level it. Just put it on there, scoop it away. I could also go ahead and use something more like a spoon to measure it if I want to. But when I use my spoon, I need to make sure I don't use this end, because when I do that, it scoops in and it now leaves a dip in my measuring cup. Don't do that. Instead, we're going to lay the handle flat and we're going to start on one side and push it all the way across. And that will create your leveled flat cup. Now it's okay if it gets a little messy. Have your towel nice and handy, ready, because just like me, I make a lot of messes, right? So we have our 1 cup here. Don't stop there. I want you to practice and explore those conversions that I mentioned earlier. Changes, different ways that you can make the same amount. So if I have 1/4 of a cup, how many scoops of flour would I need to put into my 1 cup to fill it and make it level? If I have a tablespoon, how many will I need until I get to a 1/2 of a teaspoon, or excuse me, 1/2 of a cup? You're going to look and see how many do I need. Here's another fun thing that you can do with this. In our recipes, we're going to be using the microwave, and you need something that is microwave safe. So I have this little cup here. This had some microwave mac and cheese in it, just store brand mac and cheese. And it has a bunch of different lines in here, and I'm wondering how much is in this cup, this actual little cup that I have here. So I can test that out. I can measure with my different tools and test and see how many does it take to fill it up. Is it 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups? How much is in there? How many tablespoons would I need to get to the first, the second, the third line? Don't just stop at the measuring tools you have. Try lots of things around your house. I wonder how many tablespoons it would take to fill up my husband's cup. I think I'm going to be here for a while. I'll let you go. Get your tools, some water, flour, explore it, find some conversions, find some things that are equal to or the same as each other, but using 2 different tools. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.